Hello YouTube. I just wanted to do a quick video on my new 2017 Dyna Wide Glide. This won't be a long video. I just wanted to touch base in case anybody's considering this model. Overall, first I just want to say that this bike is close to as perfect as it can get for me. It's a mid-range bike. It's really good on the interstate, but it's also keeps its classy design, so it's not overdone with luggage. I'm not much of a luggage guy. I don't even really like windshields, to be honest with you, but I put this one on it simply for the fact that that wind was just killing me. And this is a Memphis Shades I ordered off Revzilla. It didn't come with the bike. It was $250 shipped. It's got the quick disconnect. You just pull this little lever down right here and this thing just comes right off in a matter of seconds. While we're on accessories, I put this cell phone mount on there. It holds my iPhone just fine. I did lose an Android phone on it my first day, but honestly I'm not sure that I had it in there right. I probably didn't have it clipped in all the way, and plus now I got this fairing. I think that helps. And then plus they also make this rubber thing to help keep your phone in place. I just didn't use it, and I still don't. It grips my phone just fine. I got the little beverage holder there. That thing was cheap. This bike is 103 cubic inch, and let me tell you what, the power on it is just amazing. I mean, I'll never see myself needing more power than this ever. If I ever beef this thing up any stronger than what it is, it's just because I've got stupid money and time to burn. But man, this bike just, let me tell you what, it gets up and goes. Somebody tried to race me at a stoplight earlier today when I was on a road trip. I think in third gear I left him in the dust. Man, I cracked that throttle and it was gone, man. I tell you what, this bike's so good on the interstate that I can go down it in fifth gear and still have sixth. I don't even really have to use, but I do it just for fuel economy purposes. It didn't come with these Cobra Slip-Ons. That's another thing that I've got on there. I had the dealer install them for free. That was part of the deal for me to buy the brand new bike. They were still pretty quiet. They were almost as quiet as the stock exhaust. I wasn't happy with the sound. So when I got them home, I did a little tinkering around, and I found out that there's bolts. There's a little bolt here, and there's another one on the second pipe, about that same location. You take that bolt off and take these caps off, and you can actually slide the baffles out of these. There they are. They've been laying there for a couple weeks now. Now the bike is plenty loud. I like the sound of it. I haven't had to do any tweaks or modifications to it. This is just a good bike. If anybody's considering a Dyna Wide Glide, man, you just can't go wrong with one of these bikes. This is the first bike I've ever had that's got a actual fuel gauge on it. When it does go on reserve, it tells you about how many miles you've got left on the digital display, which happened to me today. I was starting to sweat that I wasn't going to make it to the exit that I wanted to get to, but I did. It's got a 4.7 gallon fuel tank on it. It's got, the forward controls are kind of bland, but at least they're on there, and I'll probably put a better set on it once I get this bike paid down or paid off someday. I'm not much into aftermarket, to be honest with you. My experience with aftermarket parts, you spend a lot, and chrome peels, and I don't know. I'm just funny about aftermarket parts. I don't like to overdo it, but someday I'll probably put a few things on it, like maybe a nicer derby cover, some chrome foot pegs and forward controls. I did take the passenger seat off. It's a two-piece seat. You have to take the whole thing off and then flip it upside down, and then there's a screw that you undo, and you can pull the passenger pillion off. It left me a little hole right there, but the bolt I put back up in there, so I can probably go down and get another hole cover for it. Fuel injected. Let me tell you what, fuel injection is your friend. My last Harley, I had a 95 Softail carbureted. I did not like to have to start that bike. It was cold-blooded, cold-natured. You had to pull the choke, had to let it sit for a couple minutes. If you didn't, it would sputter and pop. but not this thing. These fuel injected bikes are the way to go, man. If you just want to get on your bike and go, get a fuel injected bike. I'm telling you, I think that's probably all they make now, but I'm just saying, I very seriously doubt I'll ever go back to a carbureted model unless I just get a good deal. And I put that little, what is that thing called, toolkit on there. I think that was 20 bucks just to carry around my common tools. So anyway, I'm just going to give it, I'm not going to ride it right now. I did a lengthy road trip today. I'm just going to start it up and let you hear it. I've already got it unlocked. There's a start button. So plenty of shaking going on. I like that. I've always said I've had bikes of all makes and models. I've had Harleys, I've had Hondas, Kawasaki's, Suzuki's, Yamahas. I've had just about everything, and they're all, I liked everything I've ever owned. But as I always tell everybody that's never owned a Harley is an acquired ride. It's much like a beverage that it's a whole separate deal of its own. To me, those Japanese bikes all ride very similarly, but a Harley is like a separate class of its own. I like the power, I like the torque, I like the shaking. I just like the feeling that a Harley puts out. So that's all I'll probably ever own from now on is a Harley. In fact, this one cost me so much it'll probably be my last one. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a quick rundown. If there's anything that I don't like about this bike, honestly, I'm not much of a skinny front tire person. This has got like one of those bicycle tires on it. They did the extra wide triple tree on it with that small tire, and I understand that that's the wide glide look, and that's, you know, synonymous with the wide glide. I know that. I like a beefier front tire. I'm sure somebody's going to comment and say, well, what'd you buy it for? Well, it's a long story, but when I was choosing this bike out, the bank that I was dealing with, I had limited options. They were wanting me to take, there was a lot of choices of used bikes. This was one of the very few new ones that they were going to approve me for, so I figured there's always going to be something on a bike that I'm going to nitpick and not like, so I can deal with the front tire. Just, I feel a little bit more of the road than I did with some of my other bikes on this. I wish that it had a bigger front tire, but oh well, I guess I can't have everything. So it came also from factory with that Screaming Eagle air filter, and that little rain guard thing just pops right off of there. You don't have to have it on there. I keep it on just because it's been raining just about every day here in southern Illinois. It's crappy out right now. But anyway, this bike, it runs good, it feels good, it's got plenty of power, man. If you're looking for power, this bike just goes, man. It goes. I can't never see myself wanting to upgrade to anything ever faster than this. Every Harley I've ever had, I've been satisfied with the power, and they just got better and better, and this one right here is the ultimate. So anyway, I just wanted to take that time and give you a brief rundown of it. This bike cost me 17 grand out the door. That's set up, everything. And I did change the oils myself once already. At 700 miles, I did all three. I did the oil, the primary, and the gear oil. And I do want to note that gear oil looked, I could see little particles of metal in it when I drained it, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. But you know, that's just telling me that it broke in. That's another thing. When I bought this bike and rode it home from the Harley, it was loud. I mean, you could hear the engine clamoring and clanking, and I got to thinking to myself, man, this is a brand new bike. But now I look back, I see it was just breaking in, because after about 150 miles, all the noises went away and it got smoother and quieter, and everything's just, it doesn't have the little knocking sounds that it had. And the, you know, before, when it was brand new, it had like what sounded like chain rubbing and stuff inside the motor, but that all quieted down, and I'm really happy with this bike now. I wouldn't get rid of this bike for anything in the world. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video. If you got any questions or comments, just feel free to leave them in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks. See you on the road.